The massive alien ship hung motionless above Earth's sky, casting a shadow that stretched across continents. J. Park stood in the United Global Command Center, his dark eyes fixed on the holographic display, showing the alien vessel's intricate details. The room was silent, filled with tension that could be cut with a knife. Around him, military personnel from different nations watched the screens, their faces a mix of fear and determination. Captain Park knew this moment would define humanity's future. The aliens had conquered dozens of civilizations across the galaxy, and now Earth was their final target. A communication channel crackled to life. The alien voice was cold, mechanical, and utterly devoid of emotion. Humanity will surrender. Resistance is calculated as impossible. Park's hand instinctively touched the communication panel. He didn't need fancy speeches or dramatic declarations. His response would be simple and direct. Negative, he said. The alien transmission buzzed with what seemed like confusion. No species had ever refused so bluntly before. Most civilizations would negotiate, plead, or immediately capitulate, but humans were different. Outside the command center, cities were preparing. Military vehicles moved through streets. Soldiers checked their equipment. Scientists in underground research facilities worked frantically on potential defense strategies. The entire planet was transforming into a single unified defense mechanism. In Beijing, military units were mobilizing high-speed interceptors. In New York, advanced weapon systems were being calibrated. In Moscow, quantum communication networks were being established to create a global defense grid. Humanity was not just preparing to fight, they were preparing to survive. Captain Park reviewed the initial reconnaissance data. The alien ship was massive, easily capable of destroying entire continents with a single strike. Its technological capabilities far exceeded anything humans had ever seen. Standard military doctrine would suggest immediate surrender. But Park knew humanity's strength wasn't in its individual technological capabilities, but in its ability to adapt, to think differently, to challenge impossible odds. A young technician named Lisa approached him, her hands holding a detailed report. "Sir, our initial analysis suggests we have approximately a 3.7% chance of successfully defending against their first wave of attack." Park looked at her, a slight smile crossing his face. "Those are the best odds we've had all day." The alien vessel began sending additional transmission signals, scanning Earth's defenses, probing for weaknesses. But each scan was met with complex, randomized response protocols developed by human engineers who understood that predictability was the greatest weakness in any defense system. Military bases around the world were now fully activated. Fighter jets were being prepared, not in neat, orderly lines, but in scattered, unpredictable formations. Submarines moved into strategic positions. Satellite networks were being reconfigured to create a planetary defense grid. The aliens had conquered civilizations that followed traditional warfare principles. They expected structured responses, predictable military tactics. But humanity was about to show them something entirely different. Park looked at the global map. Every nation, every continent was now united. Political differences, historical conflicts, economic rivalries, all of these had vanished in the face of this singular threat. "Prepare Defensive Protocol Omega," Park commanded. The room burst into controlled activity. Technicians began implementing complex defense strategies that had been developed over years of secret planning. Each protocol was designed to be flexible, adaptable, and utterly unpredictable. The alien ship continued its silent hover, waiting for the expected surrender. But humanity had other plans. As the first rays of dawn broke across the horizon, casting a golden light over the command center, Captain J. Park knew that this was more than just a battle. This was humanity's statement to the universe. We do not go quietly. We do not surrender without a fight. The alien invasion was about to meet its most unexpected challenge. The alien communication systems began to fail unexpectedly. Hannah Kim sat in a dimly lit underground research facility, her fingers dancing across multiple holographic screens. Each movement was calculated, precise, and carried the weight of humanity's survival. Outside the facility, the first wave of alien scout Ships approached Earth's atmosphere. They expected a simple scan, a quick submission just like every other civilization they had conquered. But today would be different. Hannah had spent months developing a unique communication disruption algorithm. It wasn't just a simple computer program. It was a complex network of adaptive code that could change its signature faster than the aliens could analyze it. The first alien transmission came through. A cold, mechanical voice began its standard surrender demand. Suddenly, the signal started to fragment. Strange data packets began mixing with the original communication. The alien controllers noticed something was wrong. In the control room, technicians watched in amazement as the alien communication network began to collapse. Hannah's algorithm was working perfectly. It wasn't just blocking signals, it was actively corrupting their entire communication infrastructure. Military strategists around the world watched the developing situation. They knew this was more than just a technological battle. This was humanity's first real response to the alien threat. The scout ships began to lose coordination. Their precise military formations started to break down. Pilots inside the alien vessels became confused as their navigation systems began to malfunction. What should have been a smooth, calculated approach turned into chaos. Hannah allowed herself a small smile. Humans had always been masters of adaptation. While other civilizations would have tried to match alien technology directly, she had found a different approach, using the aliens' own systems against them. Communication between alien ships became impossible. Their advanced technology, which had conquered countless civilizations, now seemed fragile and vulnerable. Each attempt to re-establish contact only made the situation worse. Military bases around the world began to track the confused alien vessels. Fighter pilots were placed on high alert, ready to respond to any potential threat. But for now, the aliens were completely disoriented. The algorithm Hannah had created was more than just a simple virus. It was a living, breathing piece of code that could learn and adapt in real time. Each attempt by the aliens to counter it only made it stronger. In the command center, Captain J. Park watched the developing situation. "Keep pushing," he told Hannah through the communication link. "Don't give them a moment to recover." The alien ships began to drift. Some started to lose altitude, while others spun in confused patterns. Their once perfect formation now looked like a child's scattered toys. Global news networks began to broadcast the unexpected development. For the first time, humanity wasn't showing fear. Instead, they were showing something the aliens had never encountered before: complete technological innovation. Hannah continued her work, developing new layers of the algorithm. Each second brought new challenges, new opportunities to outsmart the alien technology. She understood that this was more than just a battle. This was a statement about human potential. The alien command structure began to panic. Their perfect invasion plan was falling apart, not through direct military confrontation, but through a complex technological trap they couldn't understand. Hours passed. The alien ships continued to malfunction. Some attempted emergency landings, while others simply drifted in Earth's orbit, completely disabled. Captain Park approached Hannah as she finished her work. "Impressive," he said simply. Hannah looked up, her eyes reflecting both exhaustion and triumph. "They thought we would be easy," she responded. "They were wrong." As the sun began to set, the first wave of alien invasion had been completely neutralized. Not through traditional warfare, but through human creativity, innovation, and an understanding of technology that went beyond simple mechanics. The universe was about to learn a valuable lesson about humanity. The underground research facility in Siberia buzzed with intense activity. Dr. Wu stood in the center of a massive laboratory, surrounded by fragments of alien technology that had been recovered from the disabled scout ships. Most scientists would have been overwhelmed, but he saw something different, a challenge waiting to be solved. Massive holographic displays showed complex molecular structures, quantum mechanics diagrams, and intricate technological schematics. The walls were covered with equations that seemed to dance and shift, representing humanity's most advanced thinking. 3 days earlier, the alien ships had been a symbol of unbeatable technological superiority. Now they were torn apart, every circuit and component examined with ruthless scientific precision. "We're not just studying their technology," Dr. Wu told his team. "We're going to rebuild it, make it better." The first breakthrough came unexpectedly. A junior researcher named Park discovered a unique quantum coupling in the alien propulsion system. What seemed like an advanced technological component was actually surprisingly simple, once you understood the underlying principle. Welding stations hummed. 3D printers worked non-stop, creating prototype components. The facility was transforming alien technology into something uniquely human, unpredictable, adaptive, and innovative. Outside, the world waited. Military commanders monitored the research, knowing that this might be humanity's only chance to survive the coming invasion. Global communication networks shared every small discovery, every potential breakthrough. Dr. Wu's team worked in shifts, some focused on propulsion systems, others on communication technologies, and some on weapon design. Each group approached the alien technology with a different perspective, not as something to be feared, but as a problem to be solved. The first prototype starfighter began to take shape. It looked nothing like the alien designs. Where their ships were smooth and symmetric, this was angular with unexpected curves and adaptive panels that could change shape mid-flight. "We're not copying," Dr. Wu explained to Captain Park during a video conference. "We're reimagining." The propulsion system was a marvel of human innovation. It combined alien quantum technology with human mechanical engineering. Traditional rocket science was thrown out the window. This was something entirely new. Testing began in a secure underground tunnel. The prototype's first activation was met with both excitement and nervousness. Would it work? Or would it be another failed experiment? The engine roared to life, but it wasn't a roar like traditional engines. This was a quantum pulse, a sound that seemed to exist between reality and possibility. Instruments went crazy, measuring outputs that shouldn't have been possible. Initial tests showed the prototype could match alien spacecraft capabilities, but the team didn't want to match. They wanted to exceed. Days turned into weeks. Each test brought new discoveries. The ship could perform maneuvers that defied traditional physics. Its communication systems could adapt faster than any known technology. Its defensive capabilities were beyond anything the aliens had encountered. Military. Strategists began to see hope. This wasn't just a defensive technology, this was a game changer. Dr. Wu rarely slept. His team worked around the clock, fueled by coffee, determination, and the knowledge that they were humanity's last hope. Every failed test was a learning opportunity. Every small success was a step towards survival. The final prototype looked almost alive. Its surface could change color and texture. Its weapon systems were integrated so smoothly that they seemed to be part of the ship's very essence. During the final presentation, Captain Park watched the demonstration with a critical eye. The prototype moved like nothing he had ever seen, darting, spinning, changing direction in milliseconds. "Ready for full-scale production," Dr. Wu announced. The alien invasion force had no idea what was coming. Humanity had taken their most advanced technology and transformed it into something completely unexpected. The universe was about to learn that humans don't just adapt, they evolve. The Mars orbital zone became a battlefield unlike any the galaxy had ever witnessed. Captain J. Park's experimental starfighter squadron moved with a fluidity that confused alien tracking systems. Where traditional military forces would have formed rigid battle formations, these human pilots danced between alien ships like shadows. Alien commanders watched in disbelief. Their massive warships, which had conquered countless civilizations, suddenly seemed slow and predictable. Human fighters were not just avoiding attacks, they were turning the entire battle into an unpredictable chaos. Park's communication channel remained calm. "Execute Phoenix Protocol," he said simply. 12 starfighters split into unexpected patterns. Instead of attacking directly, they began creating complex electromagnetic interference. Alien ships found their targeting systems going haywire, weapons randomly firing in wrong directions. The first alien battleship suddenly lost power. Its massive hull began to drift, completely disabled. No direct weapon hit it. The humans had systematically disrupted its core systems through pure technological innovation. Rookie pilot Lisa Chen led a small squadron using tactics that would have been considered impossible in traditional warfare. She understood something the aliens didn't. Warfare was no longer about overwhelming force, but about intelligent adaptation. Her fighter would approach an alien vessel not to attack, but to confuse its tracking systems. She would dart close, release quantum disruption signals, and then vanish before the ship could respond. It was like a complex dance, where each movement had a precise mathematical purpose. The alien fleet commanders began to panic. Their invasion strategy, which had worked perfectly across dozens of civilizations, was falling apart. Humans were not fighting like any species they had encountered before. Quantum communication networks allowed human forces to share information faster than alien computational systems could process. Each small victory, each tactical movement was instantly analyzed and distributed across the entire human fighting force. One alien commander transmitted a desperate message. "These humans are not following any known combat protocol." Park's response was simple. Exactly. The battle wasn't just happening in physical space. It was a complex technological battlefield where human creativity was the most powerful weapon. Every alien attempt to predict human movement failed spectacularly. Massive alien warships began to retreat. Their perfect invasion formation was completely destroyed. What should have been a simple conquest had turned into a nightmare of technological confusion. Human fighters used the alien ship's own technology against them. Quantum communication signals were intercepted and transformed. Weapon systems were turned into complex puzzles that consumed more energy trying to solve them than actually fighting. Lisa Chen's squadron destroyed 3 alien battleships without firing a single traditional weapon. They used pure technological manipulation, turning the aliens' advanced systems into complicated, self-defeating machines. The Mars orbital zone became a testament to human innovation. Traditional military strategists would have never conceived such an approach, but these pilots understood that modern warfare was about intelligence, not just firepower. Captain Park watched the battle unfold, understanding that this was more than a military engagement. This was humanity's statement to the universe. We are not just another civilization to be conquered. As the last alien ships began to retreat, a strange silence fell. The battlefield was filled with disabled alien technology, floating like broken dreams. Human fighters regrouped, their movements precise and coordinated. "Mission accomplished," Park transmitted to Earth. The alien invasion force had been completely defeated, not through brute force, but through something far more powerful: human creativity, technological innovation, and an ability to think beyond traditional limitations. The universe would never be the same. Humanity had just redefined the meaning of technological warfare, and this was just the beginning. Near Jupiter's massive orbital zone, the final confrontation unfolded. Humanity was no longer defending. They were transforming galactic power dynamics. Captain J. Park's fleet represented something unprecedented. Each starfighter carried technologies adapted from alien systems, but fundamentally reimagined through human creativity. They moved like living entities, not machines. The alien confederation's remaining warships gathered, preparing their final assault. They believed human resistance would eventually crumble. They were wrong. Global communication networks connected every human fighter. Information traveled faster than light, each pilot knowing exactly what the others were doing. No alien communication system could match this level of coordination. Lisa Chen's experimental squadron attacked from unexpected angles. Where alien ships expected direct confrontation, humans created complex holographic disruptions. Entire alien battle groups found themselves fighting phantom targets. One alien commander transmitted a desperate message: "These humans are not following any known combat protocols." Park's response was brutally simple: "We don't have protocols, we have imagination." The battle became a complex dance of technological innovation. Human fighters weren't just defending, they were systematically dismantling the alien fleet's Computational infrastructure. Quantum communication networks allowed instantaneous tactical adjustments. Each alien attempt to predict human movement failed spectacularly. What worked against dozens of civilizations became useless against humanity. Massive alien battleships began experiencing systematic failures. Their weapon systems turned into complicated puzzles that consumed more energy trying to solve themselves than actually fighting. Dr. Wu's technological innovations played a crucial role. The experimental starfighters could adapt their molecular structure mid-battle, becoming almost impossible to target. They weren't just machines, they were living technological organisms. The alien confederation's invasion strategy collapsed within hours. Their perfect military machine became a collection of confused, isolated vessels. Near Jupiter's orbit, something remarkable happened. Humanity didn't just resist, they rewrote the rules of galactic conflict. Each human pilot understood. They represented more than just a military force. They were pioneers, transforming humanity's position in the universe. Alien communication channels became filled with confusion. Entire battle groups found themselves unable to coordinate. Human technological adaptability had become their ultimate weapon. Park's final transmission was simple and direct. Humanity does not surrender. We adapt. We overcome. The last alien mothership tried to retreat, but human fighters had already infiltrated its communication systems, turning its own technology against itself. Massive energy signatures erupted across the Jupiter orbital zone. The alien fleet was systematically dismantled, not through traditional warfare, but through pure technological innovation. Scientists on Earth watched in amazement. Military strategists realized they had witnessed something unprecedented. This wasn't just a battle. This was a fundamental transformation of human potential. As the final alien vessels were disabled, a strange silence fell. Floating debris represented the remnants of a civilization that believed technological superiority guaranteed victory. They were wrong. Humanity had shown that true strength wasn't about advanced technology. It was about creativity, adaptability, and an unwillingness to accept predetermined limitations. The galactic power dynamics had changed forever. No civilization would look at humans the same way again. Park's starfighter moved slowly through the battlefield, scanning the remaining alien vessels. Each disabled ship represented more than a military victory. They were technological libraries waiting to be studied, understood, and ultimately transformed. "We're not conquerors," Park transmitted to Earth. "We're explorers." The universe had just learned an important lesson about humanity. We don't just survive when we evolve, and this was only the beginning of humanity's journey among the stars.